On the eastern shore of Rathlin Island, there's a cluster of homes where residents still use a whistling language to communicate across the cliffs, not as a novelty or tourist attraction, as an actual daily practice. The system has at least 40 distinct signals, from weather warnings to dinner calls, and children learn it before they're 10. When researchers from Queen's University tried to document it in 2003, locals refused to participate. When a documentary crew arrived in 2011, they were politely but firmly turned away. The whistles carry over half a mile in the right wind, and if you visit on a quiet evening, you'll hear them echoing between the houses. No one will explain why they still use it. No one will teach it to outsiders. And when you ask directly, the conversation changes. South of Armagh, there's a small cluster of cottages near the ruins of Tynan Abbey that doesn't appear on any map made after 1987. It's there. You can drive through it. There are about 15 homes, a few with smoke coming from the chimneys. But it has no official name, no postal code, and no representation in any council records. The residents collect their mail from a post office 4 miles away under various townland addresses. When the 2021 census was conducted, enumerators were told the cottages were uninhabited, despite clear evidence otherwise. A land surveyor who worked the area in 2015 said residents claimed the hamlet was private property, though title records show the land as common ground. The strangest part is that it's been this way for decades. Not hidden, just unacknowledged. In the village of Tempo, County Fermanagh, the clock tower in the centre of town runs counterclockwise. It's been that way since at least 1923, and no one has ever fixed it. The mechanism is functional. A horologist inspected it in 1998 and confirmed that it's deliberately designed to run backwards. There's no plaque, no explanation, no local legend attached to it. When visitors ask why, locals give different answers. Some say it was installed that way as a joke. Others claim it was reversed during the Troubles as a protest, though the dates don't match. A few insist it's always been normal and you're reading it wrong. The clock keeps accurate time if you read it in reverse. And life in Tempo proceeds as if nothing is unusual. Crossmaglen is known for its Republican history and its heavily fortified police station. What's less known is the network of tunnels beneath the town. Not smuggling tunnels, not old mine shafts, residential tunnels. At least a dozen homes in the town centre are connected underground by passages wide enough to walk through. Some were dug during the Troubles, but others are far older. A construction crew breaking ground for a shop extension in 2004 accidentally opened a tunnel entrance and found stone arches that looked pre-Victorian. The project was quietly halted. Locals don't discuss it with outsiders. When a journalist tried to investigate in 2009, she was told the tunnels were private and left it at that. People still use them. Doors in certain basements open to passages that lead elsewhere, and no one maps them. On the north edge of Coalisland, there's a residential street where sound behaves strangely. Cars driving down it make almost no noise. Conversations held at normal volume become difficult to hear from more than a few feet away. Dogs that bark loudly elsewhere go quiet. It's not total silence, but a dampening that's immediately noticeable. Acoustic engineers from Ulster University visited in 2016 and couldn't find an explanation. The street has no unusual materials, no special geography, and no architectural quirks that should affect sound. Residents say it's been that way for at least 30 years. Some find it peaceful. Others find it unsettling. One family moved away in 2018, specifically because of it. When asked why the effect exists, the most common response is a shrug. It just does. Near the border with County Monaghan, the village of Knockatallon has an abandoned schoolhouse that was still receiving government heating oil deliveries until 2017. The school closed in 1991. The building was officially decommissioned in 1993, but every winter for over 2 decades, a truck would arrive and fill the oil tank. When a clerical review finally caught the error, investigators found that someone had been collecting the oil. The tank was always empty when they checked. The building was locked but not secure. Someone had keys. The heating system inside had been maintained. A local farmer said he'd seen lights in the windows on winter evenings over the years, but assumed it was caretakers or council workers. No one ever figured out who had been using it or why. The building is still there. The tank is still there. But the deliveries have stopped. In County Tyrone, there's a crossroads that locals refer to simply as the Crossroads, even though there are dozens of intersections in the area. It's not marked on GPS. Road signs nearby reference other townlands, but never name this specific junction. The 4 roads that meet there are all officially recorded, but the point where they intersect is not. In 2012, a traffic study tried to include it and found conflicting land designations. Each of the 4 roads technically belongs to a different parish, and the centre point belongs to none of them. There used to be a stone marker in the middle, but it was removed sometime in the 80s. People still use the crossroads to give directions. They still meet there. But if you ask what it's called, you'll get vague answers. It's just the crossroads. And that seems to be enough. Northern Ireland is full of these kinds of places. Small oddities that don't make the guidebooks. Corners of the countryside where the normal explanations don't quite fit. Some of these towns have been strange for generations. Others became strange recently, and no one seems interested in asking why. If you've ever encountered a place that felt slightly off, slightly wrong, slightly outside the usual order of things, drop a comment and tell me about it. I'd love to know what I missed. And if you want to see more places like this, check out the next video where we explore the strangest islands off the British coast that people actually live on. Thanks for watching.